So I'm about to grow my carrots now. I didn't get many last year. I think the birds had nipped all the shoots. So this year I've moved my container to over here. It gets quite a lot of sun during the day. I've sifted the soil so that it's a fine tilth, which is ideal for carrots. And I've got some netting that I'm going to put over the top while the shoots come, just to protect them from the birds, particularly the pigeons. So the variety of carrot I'm sowing today is Amsterdam Forcing 3. I've not used these before. They came in a magazine, so I'm going to try and see what they're like. So to sow the carrots, you need to make drills about 1/2 inch deep and sow the seed very thinly. Cover it up and then obviously water it. Now the seeds are very tiny. You wouldn't want to sneeze, you'd lose the lot. So I made my drills using my fingers. A bit wobbly, no matter. And then I'm going to sow them as thinly as I can. And obviously as they start to germinate, you can thin them out. Doesn't matter how much you try and sow them thinly, they still drop in clusters. So if you're growing carrots, how do you grow yours? What variety do you grow? I find growing them in containers, especially if it's just for myself and it's a small garden, it's a great saving strategy. And plus having them up fairly high like this, you don't really get many problems with carrot fly as you do if you put them in the ground. I think that will do. And like everything else, it's a waiting game now to see what happens. Well, I've managed to secure the net by feeding some wire around it and pulling it tight, so it's going to protect it for the time being. So that's my carrot sown. So the temperatures have plummeted. This thermometer read 30.7 a couple of days ago. Now we're down to 11.2. We're expecting minus temperatures tonight, so I've wrapped up my little apple tree best I can because the blossom is forming, and last year I had hardly any fruit at all on it, and I think that's because the frost had got to it. I'm actually amazed that I can come out here because, as I've already said, it's been bitterly cold. But it's 29 degrees out here now in the greenhouse. It's still quite chilly outside. It's not too bad, about 10 or 11 degrees, but 29 in here is just fabulous. So I've decided to do some more sowings. The first one I'm going to do is my rhubarb chard. I've grown it before. The first year that I decided to grow it, I grew it in a container by the back door. It was really successful, but I just didn't have enough. So the following year I thought, right, okay, I'll grow some in one of the beds. But because I was still working, I wasn't in the garden all the time like I am now. Obviously being retired, I can come out here every day. So the garden was unattended for long periods. and the sparrows had the run of the garden, and they would strip each plant till there was nothing left of it. So I've learned that I can grow it in this garden, but I just need to cover it or protect it in some way. But I do think it's got a fighting chance this year. So that's the first one that I'm going to sow. Now, with any of the leafy vegetables, you can actually sow them directly into the soil, but I like to do them in modules. I am limited on space. Now, I've filled my tray. So I've put 2 seeds per cell. So I've got 16 potential plants. I'm just going to label it and then I'll gently cover these. The soil is quite moist, so hopefully the top layer, which will be very finely sieved, will wick through. Okay, so the next one I'm going to sow is the kohlrabi. I've got purple delicacy and green delicacy. Now, I grew these last year, the green delicacy. They were lovely. I only had a couple because they were, I think it was the slugs that got them, but I think they got all the leaves. But I'm going to have another go at them. So I'm going to start off with the purple delicacy. I'm just going to put a few in that particular row. That's the purple. These are the greens, they're virtually the same. Just make sure they've got good contact with the soil. So the final one I'm going to do is a salad leaf. It's the mixed spicy leaves, and you can sow this all year round. So I'm just going to scatter these in this last row. I can sow some more at a later date. Okay, so I'm just going to cover these up now. Right, that'll do. So I've just got to clear a space now for these, and that's it for today. So I'll speak to you next time. So before I sign off, I just wanted to show you my broad beans that are poking through. There's a few starting to push through the soil. Now I'm very late indeed. Normally I would sow these directly in the soil in October and grow them over winter, but I had other plans at the end of last year, but they didn't come to fruition, and then I forgot about them, and then it was like a panic sowing a few weeks back. So I'm really relieved I've got some coming up now. And also the rocket and the Lolo Rosso salad. They haven't got their true leaves yet, but I shall be transplanting them soon. Before I completely finish, I just wanted to say a massive thank you to those of you that have recently subscribed to my channel, those of you that have been with me from the beginning. I'm 3 away from 500 subscribers and I'm absolutely thrilled about it. I'm very grateful, so thank you so much for supporting me. But also, if you are new to my channel and you haven't subscribed yet, then please do. Maybe you'll be the 500th subscriber. Until next time, take care everybody.